I just hit 300 followers on my TikTok. Good morning, everybody. It is 7:02 here in Texas, and so I'm gonna go ahead and go on my morning walk. I just woke up, and then when I come back, we are gonna read. I didn't get to read last night. I ended up editing this TikTok that took me literally forever. Follow me on TikTok if you're not following me. The link to my TikTok will be down below. It's just at Jade's Books 5. I am the same across all platforms, Instagram, TikTok, here on YouTube, so go follow me if you want some more bookish content. I do short form videos over on TikTok, book reviews over on Instagram, and then of course full reviews over on Goodreads. So I'm gonna go ahead and go for my walk, but I'm gonna listen to Beartown because I feel like I just have so much to do and I don't have time to read. So we're gonna just knock two birds with one stone. I'm gonna go ahead and quit talking because I am a bit late for my walk and I want to go ahead and just knock it out. So I finished Beartown already. I'm gonna sit on my thoughts a little bit. I want to be able to really just process what I read because it was a frustratingly good story and I want to review it to the best of my ability. But I'm about to go to lunch with my mom and my friend. I'm about to leave. While I'm waiting for them to show up, I'm gonna start reading The Inmate by Frida McFadden. I'm almost done editing my book Rex tag video, so that's gonna go up soon. It should already be up by the time I post this video. This is the fit. I don't know where I got my shoes, but these are from American Eagle, Old Navy, and then my purse is from Coach, I think Coach Outlet. And then, yeah, so that's the fit. I'm gonna go ahead and go. I feel like I'm running late because it's across town. It's like a 10 minutes drive. So I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'll see y'all when I get back. And hopefully I'm going to finally review Beartown. Okay, hello. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Jade. Over on my TikTok, if you follow me over there, I posted a TikTok video of me trying to find this book at Target. I ended up not being able to find it, but luckily my friend was with me, so I decided, like, well, why doesn't she pick out a book for me? But I just gave her one specific author, which was Frida McFadden. So if you want to go see, like, what I'm talking about, this is my handle. In this video I'm going to be reading that book, which is The Inmate by Frida McFadden. I am super excited. Everyone on TikTok was so nice. They kept saying that like that's their favorite book of that author, or that they really enjoy that book, or that's a really good book, and I had honestly never heard of it before. With Frida McFadden, I've really only ever heard of The Housemate, and then the ones that just came out recently, which I think was The Boyfriend and then The Crash. And I've also been hearing a lot about The Tenant, so a lot of her backlist I haven't really heard anything about. So everyone on TikTok was so nice and so kind and so welcoming. So I'm going into this book feeling really excited. I hope I don't get let down, which I know that she is just a really good writer, that she writes just these crazy thrillers, and that I think the pacing of her book is really well, especially in Never Lie with The Housemate. I feel like it was kind of like slow at times, but with Never Lie, I mean, I was in it. So I hope that this is like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and quit talking. I've already started the book technically. I'm on chapter 2, which again, over on my TikTok, I posted a mini reading vlog of me reading chapter 1. So again, go follow me over there to see that. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get to reading. I'm just thinking about some things. With Frida McFadden, you have to you really have to think. If you want to figure it out, if you want to know the answers faster, you really got to put brain power into it. And I also feel like with Never Lie,
I would think of something and I'd be like, no, that's too obvious. That can't be it. And it wasn't. Like, there was a more intricate plot at hand. And I feel the same thing about the inmate. Like, I am thinking something and it's like, it can't be anything else, but it's too obvious. Therefore, it has to be something else, you know? I don't know. I'm going to keep reading. I'm on chapter 9, page 58. So we're not even made a little dent in it, but oh, I just let it go. Anyways, I'm going to keep reading. I just hit 300 followers on my TikTok. I'm gonna have to go inside and tell my mom. It's a couple of hours later. I am now going to review Beartown. Before you think about reading Beartown, before we begin, I'm gonna go ahead and start off by saying, check the trigger warnings. There are depictions of on-page rape. There's assault, bullying, misogyny. So if any of that bothers you, or if any of that is a touchy subject for you, I would go into Beartown very cautiously. I will go ahead and check the rest of the trigger warnings as well. Let's go in chronological order, okay? If you do not know what Beartown is about, it is about these group of people that live in a town that they all love hockey. It is a hockey town. These are people whose lives are intricately woven not only with each other, but also with the sport of hockey. We follow the general manager of the Beartown Ice Hockey League, his daughter, his wife, the coach, the new coach. We follow players, we follow parents. It is such an intricately woven story. Everyone is connected. If you've ever seen the TV show This Is Us, then I say it is similar to that in the way that it is just a very character-driven story, and all these people that we follow are all connected to one another. So if you've ever seen that TV show, think of it like Beartown. That's kind of the same vibe that we're giving. The junior ice hockey team is about to compete in the semifinals and is a very big deal. Beartown has only ever been the best in the country once, and that was years and years and years ago. So this is a very big deal for all these people who just love hockey. They're diehard hockey fans. They are known to put the sport of hockey before anything. Unfortunately, though, the night of the semifinal, something happens to a young girl and it leaves her traumatized and fighting for justice. And that is what the rest of the book follows. This was such a powerful story because it really goes to show what it takes to do what's right, what it takes to stand up for justice, what it takes to stand up against people who are supposed to love and support you, and you find out that they don't. Like the people who you thought you knew kind of turn their backs on you when things get tough. This book was so frustratingly good. I absolutely loved it. Frederick Bachman has a way to just evoke so many emotions in you. I was feeling angry, and then the next chapter I was hopeful, and then the next one I was crying, and then the next one I was laughing. It was really such an emotional roller coaster, and he seamlessly puts that in his characters and in his books so well. Even though, in my opinion, Beartown was a little slow to start, once we got started, I was immediately hooked. And even before we did officially get started, like from chapter 1, I was already invested in these people's lives because of the way he sets up his story. He just has a way to hook you immediately. As for our characters, I loved some of them. And those characters that I love, their development throughout the course of the book was so amazing. A character from the beginning that absolutely made me angry and I just did not like, by the end of the book, I was rooting for them and I was crying for them and feeling for them and hoping for them, which is exactly what Frederick Bachman wants you to do, and he succeeded in doing that with me. Two characters that were my favorite was Ramona and Amant. Ramona is just the epitome of a strong woman. She really shows you how much influence a strong leader in your community can be over you, and the fact that it was an older woman that was doing that, which again, like I mentioned, there are so many instances of misogyny in this book, and the fact that Ramona was that strong person who stood up against everybody, who was able to stand her ground, it made me love her all the more. She is definitely the type of woman you need, not only just in your life, but also in your community to help guide you to make the correct choices. Despite all her sufferings that this poor woman has suffered, she still found a way to gather more courage than all the people in her community. And she was just so well written. I could not help but root for Ramona by the end of it. By the end of this book, you are going to be loving so many of these characters and you're going to feel so many types of ways about them. And Ramona is one of those characters for me. And then of course, Amant. When we first met him, I think in chapter 1, immediately I connected to him. I wanted him to succeed. I wanted him to always be happy, never wanted him to be hurt. Whenever Amant would come into the book, I loved reading about him just really fighting himself, him wanting to be this person, but knowing that he needs to be this person. And having him, such a young boy, go against the grain, so to speak, I loved. I could not have read a better character. His character development from being who he was in the start to being who he is at the end was so amazing. Frederick Bachman wrote Amant so beautifully, and his character development was so gradual that it didn't feel forced, it didn't feel rushed. It felt like everything was happening in the time that it needed to. While some parts were frustrating to read, again, you cannot help but just fall in love with this book and with these characters. You can't help but root for them and cheer for them. Literally one page I'm crying, and then the next page something will happen where our characters are joking with one another and they start laughing and I start laughing. Like, Frederick Bachman has such a way to guide the story and guide the reader's emotions that you literally can't say anything bad about it. I was so invested in all these people, and you would think you would get confused because there's so many people getting written and being thrown at you. You're able to keep up with everything because of how easy and simple his writing is. Again, speaking of his writing, it was so beautiful. The imagery Frederick Bachman is able to write and bring to life this town is so amazing. The word choices that he used, his sentence structures, all the callbacks, the fact that he would use metaphors and then chapters later he would use it again, and it just wraps everything up so beautifully. I've never read a book so that one would think would be so complicated and so boring and hard to read, actually in reality be so easy, so interesting, and you just get so invested. You fall into the story as if you are a citizen in Beartown and you are fighting what our characters are fighting for. So despite all the hardships that this book throws at you, I finished the book feeling hopeful and content. If not a little angry, but I feel like if you read this book and you finish it, you would also have a little bit of anger in you. I definitely recommend, if you're on the fence about reading Beartown, I definitely say go for it. Again, check the trigger warnings, but if you love literary/contemporary fiction and you love character-driven books, I think that this one would be one that you would really enjoy, and I would give it a shot. And if you do, let me know what you think about it. So that's my review for Beartown. I gave it 4 stars. If you want to go over on my Goodreads and read my full review, or over on my Instagram, a link down in the description will be there. So I hope you consider picking up Beartown if you think it's something you like. If you do end up picking it up, let me know what you think about it. I am eager to hear y'all's thoughts on it. I am back. It's been a couple of hours. I am now ready to review The Inmate. So first, let's start off with what it's about. Our FMC, her name is Brooke. She just got this new job as a nurse practitioner at this all men's prison. It's a penitentiary. She is reluctant to do this job. She had applied to many other ones in the area, but with no luck. So she is now working at this penitentiary, and the reason why she was reluctant to take this job is because she knows one of the inmates at this prison, and she is the reason why he is in there. Compared to the other two Frida McFadden books I've read, this one was just so different. I feel like in this one, our main character was more of a victim, whereas like in the other ones, they're victims, but they're also like a little crazy. This book also had more like romantic themes. The other two were just straight thrillers, whereas this one felt more like a thriller mystery with a just very dash little hint of romance. As for our main character, she, oh my gosh, was just a little annoying and so naive, and I don't want to say gullible because she was questioning every single thing, but I can't even be like mad about that because I probably would have done the same thing. The whole book was it truly was like a psychological thriller where you just do not know who to trust. So I can't even be mad at her for all those qualities that she has and emotions that she was expressing, because I probably would have been the same way. I was just as confused as her. One thing that I do love about Frida McFadden is that she will keep you guessing. I think I've already talked a little on this, but you will have a theory, and it seems like such a plausible theory, but it is so blatantly obvious that you know that can't be the answer because she wouldn't do that. And you're right, that's not the answer. And she ends up throwing a plot twist at you that you didn't see coming. As for this book's plot twist, it fell a little flat for me, even though I enjoyed the book overall and I do have some of my like little picks at it. The plot twist it fell a little flat. I don't really know how to explain it, but it was just a little underwhelming. This one felt a little predictable. But again, I was eating this book up. I read it like basically in a day. I could not put it down. I essentially read it in 2 sittings. Like I filmed a TikTok of me reading chapter 1, and then I read chapter 2 to like chapter 15 or 17, and then 17 to the end of the book. So technically 2 sittings. So I was very enthralled. I was very compelled to read this book. The emotions that Frida McFadden wants you to feel when she's reading her book, I was feeling them. I could not put this book down. I needed to know the answers, what was going to happen. But then when we got there, I was just like, oh, this one feels just a little different, a little too different from what I was looking for. I was looking for a Frida McFadden thriller, and I got something just a little off to the side. Even though it was still giving me those same emotions, this one was just a little bit different in that regard, because again, it was more like of a mystery / romance than a thriller, especially because the last one that I read was Never Lie, and so I'm comparing it to Never Lie. The inmate was just so different. That's not to say that I didn't enjoy this book, because again, I really did. I think overall I would give it a 3.5 stars. My ranking right now for Frida McFadden is Never Lie, and this one's kind of tied with The Housemaid, because the end of The Housemaid also, it was a bit like we were building, and then just we were there. So I feel like this one is the same in that regard with The Housemaid. Again, overall, I really enjoyed this book. I would recommend it if you're looking for a thriller / romantic. I don't want to say it's like a romance, but it does have like romantic notions in it. So I would recommend if you're looking for something like that. I will give it a 3.5 stars overall. It was still an enjoyable read. I was still addicted to it. Just the ending wasn't what I was hoping for. That is it for this video. If you liked it, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. I plan on doing some more reading vlogs, and I also have another sit down video planned. But if you like this style of video, consider following me on all platforms. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and of course here on YouTube. I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!